across the board on most heroes. Like, I don't know if, it's something I've definitely noticed, like going into games like Weaver. If you play like Weaver, the big reason why Weaver is like the most picked hero on pro level pubs, I think, is because Sakuchi is one of the best abilities in terms of damage for the cost, and then his base mana regen's like 2.5, or it was, they nerfed it, but it was like 2.5. And a lot of heroes have like 2 base mana regen or something. And the HP regen's the same. Like HP regen is just high across the board these days because they've just increased those stats for a long time.
Helps the noobs.
It does. Yeah, it does. They definitely need to nerf Armlet. I'm so done with that. So? It's like, literally, if you want to know if an offlaner is viable, the question is, does it build Armlet? And then if the answer is no, the second question is, does it build Helm Dom? And then if the answer to both of those questions is no, then no, it's not a good offlaner, unless it's Sand King.
What about like the Vanguard rushers? Like I can get away with like a Vanguard rush on like Centaur or something. It's too slow, doesn't do enough.
You barely see them. I mean, it's
really?
Yeah. I feel like the thing, like Vanguard doesn't make you as tanky as like an Armlet does. Have you tried killing a Marcy who has an Armlet? He's immortal.
I mean, you tried killing a Marcy just before some of these nerfs come in, man.
This is true.
I mean, 9 armor is very good for sure. Plus you get comparable regen and, you know, 80 damage.
I tried moving the mouse on this monitor. I realized this is,
you were supposed to log in. You could have logged in.
I see all of the overlay and I still tried to move the mouse. That's like the Dota brain.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got everybody now just making their way out here onto the map. Did you guys ever finish like what your predictions actually were? There was a lot of like discussion, but not actual like statements.
About
Entity.
The system?
You like Entity better?
I liked the Entity draft
think
better.
they crush it.
You think they crush it?
Yeah, I do.
And it's just because you like their draft, like the way that it all fits together better? Or?
I think it's very easy to execute this draft. I also...
30 seconds.
It's like Brames is hard to play against Entity's heroes, even if Entity's... If Entity didn't have these combos with each other that were easy to play. So it's like 2 levels of increased difficulty for Brame, essentially. And it's like, especially in Division 2 of like every region, it's like ease of execution is just so important. And even in Div 1, like that's true.
That's always been the name of the game, though.
Lack of fighting. We got a Collapse fan here.
The battle begins.
Going for the, that looks like an Urn Rush on Viper. Seen 3-3 do this on Viper, I think, once. But it's good. Lots of mana regen. That's actually something Viper suffers with, is that the way to beat him in lane is you have to like bait him to use like 2 or 3 poison attacks on you, because that's like 60 to 90 mana pool. And he doesn't have a huge mana pool. Not the smartest flying snake in the game. And as a result, he runs out of mana, and then you don't have to worry about him as much, because he can't just like, you know, throw 7 poison attacks on you and lose 600 HP.
I do think the full Vessel on Viper is often a bait, and I'm fairly sure that's like the general consensus among a lot of pro players too, just because I've literally tried to go for it in games and people are like, dude, nobody builds Spirit Vessel anymore. Unless you're like against a Timber Saw or something that's really important to have the Vessel against.
Even on like a 4 or something where it just feels like the value guy.
For offlaners, it's a bait. Okay. It's like you feel like, oh, this is a great Vessel game, I'm going to go for it. And then you end up not scaling at all. Like you'd much rather go for the Urn and then build into like the Dragonlance Aghanim Shard and then be this tower damage hero that scales in that way on a Viper.
That does way more, surely.
I think so.
Already being pressured quite a bit here. Couple last hits so far. Viper doing fine, actually. Went for poison attack to zone.
I'm just showing a little bit of harass back and forth right now. Nothing too wild.
I predicted that Viper would feed. He's gonna destroy. That is how she goes. I've heard from a lot of mid laners that Nature's Prophet versus Invoker is very favored towards, well, relatively favored towards the Nature's Prophet, and it's like, why is the question? And literally just damage. That's it. It's like nothing that interesting. And Invoker doesn't really have that much kill threat.
Oh, top lane, Toby sitting very low. Tommy also putting out a little bit of harassment. Nefrit's got the slow final hit. That's going to be our first blood.
The Orb of Venom PA, the one way to make the hero lane effectively. To get so much slow and you get them at the right time. They must out harass the Viper, I suppose.
That's crazy. That's not what you want for a Razor to be giving away first blood to a PA.
No, they might be able to turn this around a little bit. He's fairly tanky. They're able to reduce some of that armor. Scatter Blast. Back in though, Toby. Drain a little bit of that damage. Spartan's got to be very careful. He's forced to use the Fairy Fire. But Toby stalling 30 damage.
Extra range help. I mean,
Maybe they're gonna go back in here. Look at Katomi. Yeah, Spartan right underneath the tower. Can he finish him off though? No, Katomi's not quite there. He might actually die for the tower coming in. Nefrit might have punished him for that greed.
Oh, again, breaks. I've seen like 4 salves be broken in the last minute, I feel like.
Classic carry player. Doesn't care about the salve.
Yeah, I hate that dude.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I salve them and they, well, I gotta get this 1 CS that he lose like 300 HP equivalent or something.
Yeah. Well, that's 110 gold spent from you, which is worthless.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't actually hurt them minutes later.
They could gain 50.
Put it off the mark here.
That was not a lot of damage.
Come on in, turn it back around over on Crystallis. A final hit coming in from 11. They want more, they want Fishman. And they're just stacking up that poison, and down goes the Fishman.
My predictions. I am terrible at my job.
Did they get earned charges on the Viper? That's the real question. Because if he had earned completed already for Viper, it's going to be a completely different game. That's, what, 3 charges that they get out of that?
Yeah, that's insane at this point. So much damage.
BRAME drank their juice this morning.
They're destroying.
They've got their game day face. I mean, it's first day of DPC. They got to be pretty excited, ready to go.
All right, this is the one way to beat PA. You get Vanguard. Because then if you damage block him, you damage block all of his damage, and it doesn't matter how much minus armor he has with Orb of Corrosion at level, like early levels.
Under attack.
So one plays Vanguard is valued against minus armor. And they have so much between those 2 heroes.
Face down again, over onto SSA Spartan. Another click does the trick. And down he goes.
Real low damage block gains minus.
Oh, things are crumbling very quickly here for NT.
Jenkins, you're so good at
Jenkins, what did you do, dude?
Stop.
He's got the skeletons. Maybe that'll make a difference.
This is awful.
I mean, they didn't really go on him until he was the first time they went on him, he was level 3 already, so he's already got like 1 corrosive. He was just like damage, magic resisting them.
Oh, and a courier's right there too.
Dude, BRAME is just like mega out.
Toby, this is gonna be another kill. We're only about 5 minutes into this game, guys, and I feel like, I was about to say, I feel like Katomi, he wants this kill on Spartan. Does have to be careful, though. Doesn't fight more often he could. Yeah, look at this. The slow, the damage, the cookie on top of it. Oh my goodness, this is looking like a Dead Space cow. And Stamana is just bullying Crystallis over here, too.
I like this build. Just all nukes. He didn't get Devour yet. That's also amplified by Viper's poison attack. All this magic damage that Doom has, so it actually puts it to a pretty respectable rate. And it's so much slow as well. He can just stand next to him with Scorched Earth and it feels good.
Oh, we have a rotation here. They want to finally kill Nefrit, and they'll find it this time around, but they did have to make a rotation.
I wonder if he could have blinked to that creep with the tread switch.
Radiant
Kind of looked like he accepted his death.
Stormer.
Dire's top
Creeping into this middle lane.
But this catapult timing is really important for BRAME. They've got Nature's Prophet, so protecting the catapult with the trees.
Dire's structures are
Definitely something you want to do. The wraparound.
Stormer. And here, follow up the teleport from Fishman. So much damage that can skip away in time. The save coming up from a Katomi. They get the kill on Stamanen, and they'll protect Stormer.
That feels fine to me because he also protected the creep wave too, so that's like a couple hundred extra points of damage to the tower. Not too bad for him. Still pretty close game, only a 1k advantage for BRAME though.
Crystallis sitting in this lane with Toby is one of the strangest things. I mean, this has got to feel weird, especially if they die here. Like, oh no.
Which with the rotation over onto Crystallis is going to fall. Somi managing to hit several of these heroes with that charge, and he's a speedy boy. He does have that rune.
I was like, wow, how did he charge somebody else over there mid-charge?
Radiant's
tower
bottom
is just-
tower is under attack.
It's just dying to creeps.
Dire's
Well, if he
middle
couldn't
tower is
TP,
under
see
attack.
TP top, you might as well stick there to cover him, I guess, but yeah, the rating's not doing great. Bottom 5 net worth on him right now.
All right, so here's my question to you guys. Yes, you know, it's still fairly early on. We're only about 7 minutes into the game. How do you slow down this tempo from BRAME? How do you make it? Oh, that's one way, I guess, is try to make a little bit of space. Cookie Hop coming out for the save. Sunstrike coming in. Over to Nefrit is not enough. Spartan cleaning up the space, Cal.
So close to having enough damage. Yeah, killing cores, high
Going
network
back in.
heroes is the way to go, but it's kind of tough to do it because you need to... Another salve broken.
Spartan not looking too healthy here, but the follow-up here from Smana. Toby trying to just break some ankles. Another slow. The Scorpion takes a very fast. Can turn around, gets a kill on Spartan, but they'll end up losing Toby.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
That was great then. Kill and a suicide, effectively. Not bad. They're doing okay. 2k gold advantage now. We're going to lose.
Dude,
Oh,
Crystal is
he
he cannot catch a break.
He's gone
No
Vessel Rush,
breathing
too.
room.
Wait, did Stormer just Sunstrike? Yeah, he just
Oh, we got him with that ward?
yeah, he got him with the ward.
Nice.
So that's
big.
Well, if you look back, you can see that they had the vision because Wish went and did the Wrath of Nature, and I think he pinged it out during that time as well.
That's just 2 solo kills on both carries.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They did know that they had vision, I think.
Radiant's
the Wrath.
bottom tower
So they
is under
should have
attack.
been able to dodge that, I think. Yeah, they're going to get a D-ward here. Spartan does get it, but it's still fine for them. They're still up 2k. Making their way towards an Orchid. EA is going to go back for Battle Fury now. Very standard stuff here. Nothing too weird. I think the weirdest item build we've seen is the Vipers. The Spirit Vessel will be certainly good against like Razor, Wraith King, SB type heroes. Lots of HP, kind of hard to kill. Getting percentage-based damage this early is going to be kind of bonkers.
Went for the full Vessel, eh? Literally everything that I said is wrong.
Yeah, you really anticipated this.
This is...
There's no way he goes Vessel. Everybody knows it's bad.
That's-
But he's really far ahead, though. Like,
Sure, he can get it without delaying his other stuff too much.
dude, I love Ocean Heart.
Well, then again,
swimming.
that's the argument that you say right before you get a vessel and then throw because you have a vessel. So
That's true. We gotta wait.
we'll see. I'm traumatized from buying vessel in
There's
going to
be a good like 10 minutes till anybody buys a BKB, so Vessel is gonna be good for a while here.
Yeah, true.
All right, well, they're going to go on the hunt here.
Radiant's
11
top
and
tower
SSA
is under
Spartan.
attack.
Smoke will break as they walk into
Radiant
Stormstormer.
structures are
Drop
fortified.
Sentry immediately. Charge coming out over on Spartan. 11.
Radiant's middle tower is
I'm
under
putting towards
attack.
forward.
He's going in on this.
Dire's top tower is under
I
attack.
mean,
Why would he buy Vessel?
I'm surprised that they committed on that he turned around and went
Radiant's
forward
middle tower
because
is under attack.
I don't know, it felt like one of those things where like he's like, we're making a move, the smoke gets messed up, then he's like, all right, I'm gonna mess with them just a little bit, but they were ready to go. And otherwise it felt like it was a waste to rotate. But
Viper is just not really one of the good heroes in Dota for rotating because the question is, what do? You walk up and you Tumblr's Toy slow people?
yeah, after like 4
Well-
attacks, he's gonna be a dead hero.
Yeah.
They'll be
once
slowed
again,
enough.
it's where's that hero that's going to latch in place? Where's the hero that's going to
Cookie.
make them fight?
You cookie him forward, then he Tumbler Toys forward, and
This is
that's
already
when you
too
get to start your
complicated.
game.
It sounds like a child.
All you gotta do is get within 400 range and you can cast your ulti, okay? That's it. It's easy to do in Dota with the 275 movement speed.
So Wish is not building Latch, but he is building an Orchid, which will give some sort of pick-off threat, some sort of disable, so that's definitely something.
That was a cookie from Spartan, but there's still a Space Cow charging in.
Radiant
A lot of
scanning.
Sunstrikes missed this game. Except for that one where he sniped PA, that was cool.
That was a very
Dire's
important
top
one.
tower has
I mean,
fallen.
he's almost top network.
The evasion. Dagger comes out immediately. They get the Doom over onto the Space Cow. Spartan's still alive somehow.
Oh, that was so sick.
Ooh, cookie hop forward again. They might be able to turn this around. Get the kill on Fishman.
The Dispel broke Inkswell early. That's the only reason he lived there. So,
Radiant's bottom
but he
tower
lived, so
is
less
under
cool.
attack.
But cool.
You are trading a Doom for kill on Grimstroke, though.
Ooh, Viper Strike
that's a
right
beacon.
by. All right, that's not last, but that's
Okay.
a kill. There we go.
Said
a
latch
freebie?
so many times until everybody knows it.
It's a cool
good
term,
word.
though. Like, it makes sense because we
Yeah.
have roots, we have stuns, but, like, the concept of it, I think, is really
It's a more
interesting.
complex way to say stuff. Orchid reveal here.
So, followed up. Cookie hop out of the way here. Fishman is just getting wailed upon. Come on, and just going to chase him down, and Wish gets the final.
Do that on purpose.
Oh, what?
It's getting wailed upon. What? Fishman.
Oh, no. Good. There's-
I'm glad I could crack Jenkins up with that. That was not intentional, but
Dire's middle
I
tower
think I
is under
killed him
attack.
now.
That's how you did that on purpose.
You just latched Spirit Breaker with 2 poison attacks.
No, that's not how it works. Bird, please.
He's wailing
Oh, he's
just
just bashing away. Ah, I can't quite make it out.
This is
No.
pretty close, actually.
quite anchor the team fight with the whale.
Anchored to Nature's Prophet back in the fountain.
Is
for
that
about
going to be
20
what you
seconds.
think about now every time? Is you're going to try to come up with a new pun for that?
No, that was you. You have to do that now. It's a trend.
Razor rushing the BKB. Boring, but you gotta do it, unfortunately.
It's so boring. I mean, the problem with offlane Razor is that, like, at some point, you need a BKB to fight. So if you go for like a Yasha, and then you can't, you're just losing, then your other 2 core positions get the farm because they're, you know, the mid and the carry. They're gonna demand for it. But then you also can't fight on Razor, and you can't farm, so what do? You lose. So you just rush BKB on Razor. It's very boring, but very good. Oh, that's a fast cow.
That is indeed a fast cow into the Sunstrike, and there's a hit. Down goes.
He deserves that kill, Wishman. Or Fishman. sorry. Wishman fishing for the wish kill.
Fishman.
Fishman, he's legit carrying this game. And I wanted to say this earlier, but it's very easy to forget about 5 positions because just who cares? But the rotation towards the top lane that he made, where the lanes were going absolutely horribly for Entity, that getting a few kills, breaking open that area was super important. And I feel like he's involved in all of these kills.
Was it worth it though to have Crystallis move up to the top lane during that time period though too?
Crystallis is having a real rough one.
He bought his own sentry there too. He got the D ward. That's cool.
People are doing that. That's a
It's a lot of golden
big
experience,
trend
you know?
these days. Finally, I mean.
Thank God.
Bought 2 as well, so he's like, he's aiming for the late game.
These supports.
Did you see that?
Good cookie, yeah.
That was insane.
It was a great cookie. Following up with Morty's kisses. Can they get the final hit over onto Katomi?
Oh, it was...
Whoa, there it is.
Dude, that was insane. It's like he cookied at the perfect time, so the cookie stun actually stunned the SB. I don't know, it works. It can work.
I know. Okay, I know I'm sounding really biased because I said Entity was going to win at the start, and literally everything I said was wrong. But you are trading 2 TPs to the bot lane for a Spear Breaker. Like, this is the 4 and the 5 position that are running around getting kills like this.
Gonna get a replay on that cookie here. All right. This with the Inkswell. Just at the right
Crap.
That is pretty
time.
sick. I mean,
That
that's
was really,
pretty. That
was
is
sick.
really close.
That is
I
a
thought he was
sick
going to get
cookie.
bashed for sure.
Was that intentional is the next question? Or was he just
I
trying to
mean,
get
you
away
try
faster?
for it. You try for it.
I mean, he was busy. He literally scatter blasted, and the moment it was done, he turned and jumped. It was like, still
That's
impressive.
a good question,
The
depending on
timing was
who
good.
ends up winning the match, you know?
Remember that one time 2.5 hours ago when you
Please
got
take the
charged
timestamp for
and
us,
you used
Bird.
cookie? Was that on purpose?
Those were the days.
And I also feel like you're always
2.5
going to say
hours ago.
yes. That's not something they say no. That was totally, like, you want to look cool. You want to be the cool guy in Dota. You want to say, yeah, that was totally intentional. I knew it. I knew the exact timing. With the Inkswell plus the everything else.
You already knew what the movement speed of the Spear Breaker, whether or not he skilled Bulldoze was, etc.
Yeah, he's just doing that mental math.
Well, you
know?
can tell because
This isn't NA math.
the
This
bulldoze
is EU math.
duration. So you just look at the.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it's 8 seconds at all levels, and I knew that.
Of course, of course.
The color of it changes depending on the level in it.
Dude, the lighting behind you right now is hilarious when you keep looking up like that. It's very creepy.
Thank you.
We'll be looking to potentially pressure or gank here. It's like that tough thing about playing off lanes when the tier 1 tower's dead and people actually play in this lane that you want to go up there and get the creep wave and potentially gank, but just get swept up on any moment, just like the Viper's about to here.
They have the vision now. Sunstrike not going to connect, but they will be able to charge, throw in a meatball, and eventually 11 is going to die to Stormstormer.
He's rich, he's got BOTs as well.
He's fallen off though.
That's true, it's not worth dropped a lot.
But the PA is not a hero that's supposed to be, you know, farmed at this point. Like you farm after you get the Battle Fury, right? So if PA is in the top 3 net worth, I think you're pretty happy at this point, just because the hero has arguably the strongest 3-item power spike in the entire game. It's hard to come up with another hero that's better than PA.
I assume you're also referring to Deso BKB as
Deso BKB, yeah.
Yeah.
Although people are going for, I do see like Mantha, Scotty, Basher, like no BKB sort of thing. Like the Mantha.
But don't they usually have save when they're doing something like that?
FYI guys, you should not buy the Blightstone after the Orb of Corrosion. They do not stack. You get his first Mithril Hammer, 300 gold soon. Huge mistake
Thank
if
you,
they lose.
Purge.
This
Thank
is
you very
why.
much. Netfrit, when you are watching this cast, you made a huge mistake.
Terrible. Terrible.
Contact Purge game. There he is.
There it is, down forward, the stone coming out from Stamanen. And they get the Doom off, but over on the back lines. Oh, Netfrit somehow still going to survive as they'll get the kill on Stormstormer, and they're going to turn back around and get the kill on Katomi.
Well, he didn't survive because of the Blightstone, but that was still really good play. Insane play by the Doom. He's got the Link at this point. He didn't have much Devour either, so that's just from playing a great game. He's 3-1-5. Jumps in, ravages the whole team. Dooms the Invoker, no follow-up potential. That was cool.
I was telling Jenkins earlier because he's saying like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to learn more about each of these players. I said Stamanen is definitely a player to watch out for. He makes some nice moves. Ooh, over into the tree line, hunting himself a
Dire's top
Toby.
tower is under attack.
Still can't quite find him though until he gets out. Slow a little bit, turn back around. They have a charge on him.
Watch out, that Viper's a massive 375 movement speed with boots of travel. He's gonna catch up.
It is just tough.
Radiant's
All right,
He's a
Mr.
snake.
Snark, my
I
goodness.
mean, I love Viper. Oh, sorry, he's got a win lace. He's 395 right now.
I know you. We did a content
like the
piece at
Viper.
one point, and you asked all Viper
It was about
questions.
lore.
Yeah,
That was the one, I knew that.
yeah. You rigged the deck against me,
I don't know if they ever showed those, did they?
but you definitely rigged it.
So many TI content pieces never
Never to see the light of day.
Do you get any interviews at TI?
Yeah, they cut all of them.
The sweatpants?
You know, I had a thought. You ever had these moments in life where
It's the first time for everything.
you're just looking around and you think, what the hell am I doing with my life? How did I end up here?
Got that just now. Yeah.
I got that when you started talking about Viper facts. And I was thinking,
Viper lore.
why is my brain thinking, oh yeah, this makes sense?
God, I have to keep walking away from you guys. I'm too short. I can't see the monitor,
It's fine.
and I have to go to one of the big things over here. But it feels awkward because I try to look at you when I'm talking and the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to be taller.
It's
Dire's
kind of
bottom
stabilized.
tower is under
It's not
attack.
really
Radiant are
popping off
scanning.
in either direction, but
It's about a 3K net worth lead right now over the side of BRAME. They'll bait and effort a little bit, see if anyone will show up and try to make some moves.
It makes sense, right? Like, obviously there's still a Prophet who's a semi-carry, but PA's the obvious game. Kill that guy, you have a better chance to win, so even though he's right next to his tower, this is a good way to safely play his lane.
another factoid that I've heard from a lot of pro players, Nature's Prophet players in particular, is that the hero actually out-carries a lot of typical carries in the late game you wouldn't necessarily expect, just because his stat gains are ridiculously good.
Best
And-
base model and ability draft, yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing base model. And so, yeah, PA Nature's Prophet is formidable late game, especially with the Doom on the back of that.
Someone about to get
Dire's
latched.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, it's not Fishman.
Hop forward there. There's the cookie, like Bird was talking about, and they have a stomp, so.
The stomp actually helps a lot
Dire's
from
middle tower
the Doom
is
4.
under
It's
attack.
really,
Dire's
you don't
middle
talk about it
tower
as much
has
for like
fallen.
Doom 3, but as a support, it's still a great ability. 15-second AoE, 2-second stun. It doesn't do much damage, but who cares? The stun's huge.
It's
Radiant's
just another
top
nice
tower
thing
is
to add to
under
the
attack.
toolkit, basically. Double damage, though, over on Crystallis.
Hitting buildings, going to armlet into
Dire's
AC, and just
structures
build.
are
You know what you
fortified.
can do with Doom? If you get the Aghanim Shard and somebody's at the right level for it,
Radiant's top
which is
tower
very
is under
strange,
attack.
level death, whatever that got added back into
That's
the game.
not-
Anyway, you
It
can
used to be level death.
you
Yeah, it used to
can
be.
stun them with that, stomp them, and then stun them again with it. Once you have the Aghanim Shard.
With the 1-second downtime. Oh,
I think there's no downtime if they're at the correct level.
I
You
don't
do
think
the-
that's right.
Somebody told me that, so that was
This is
whoever.
why you need to both log into the lobby so you
I
can
don't think
click on
that's
things
right.
and read them.
I'm pretty sure that's right. There's no.
No way one person was wrong.
Oh boy, that is a dead fish, man. And Crystallis needs to be careful too. The force forward. Can I get the vision on him though? He's hiding in the tree line here. Wish coming forward. They walk right into him. Get that silence off. 50 out forward over onto 11. The BKB over on Toby. Gonna try to drain as much as he can away. But he is, of course, doomed. The body block's coming out. They'll get the kill on Sman. This is looking. Oh, it's the denial using the Forge Spirits. Now, for now, needing to be a little bit careful because Crystallis is back up and running here. Look at that damage coming off of this Wraith. Okay, comes some Skeleton King. Oh, careful. Used to level of death and my brain starts just rebooting. It's to say Spartan next to die. It's a triple kill now for Stormer.
What a fight there. I mean, PA doesn't have BKB yet, right? So, oh, he did actually pop it in that fight.
He did.
They've got BKB, but only Battle Fury, so his damage is just okay. But you understand, you have to get BKB this early sometime. Your opponents are hitting the timing. Pops it there, but the fight doesn't go quite perfect. Start off with some okay damage against Wraith King, but this plate mill build that he went for was very smart against all the minus armor they have.
He baited perfectly in that fight too, right? Like you build into armlet plate mail, like what does your hero do? You don't do damage, you tank. And so the way that he stands in the trees there, like baiting them all in, and then they kind of go on him. The BKB on Wish gets kited, and then with the alacrity, like you don't need damage on Wraith King because he's He's going to do damage from the Invoker.
And it's just so good when you have 2 lives that each life you have huge amounts of HP. So if they are really one-sided in their damage types, then going this like fast AC build afterward is really good. So that evens up the game a bit. Net worth on Invoker is still really high due to his Midas, but Prophet and PA are also relatively competitive. And now Viper's going to go for BKB afterwards. All-up items.
You know, one thing that has changed in Dota in the last like year or so with the buffs to Spirit Breaker is that a lot of the time when you're playing against a Nature's Prophet, this bot lane would be a huge issue for you, where you have to send somebody down here to deal with it. You have a Boots of Travel on your Invoker. That's fine. Okay.
Somebody's got to carry dust, guys. You can't just drop all the sentries like
Yeah, he's just walking away.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Nice Shadow Blade on your 4 Spirit Breaker.
Is that what you guys were expecting to see being built for?
That's one of the things that Tigo talked about. Yeah, it was Shadow Blade. Just because of the mobility, that it increases your charge damage. It means that if they don't have sentries, they don't see you charging across the map. That part's really big too.
Silver Edge too against both the Viper passive and the PA passive.
That's true. Yeah, that's really important.
Get a Soulbind over in the mid lane.
Defensive, like.
Trying to protect the Solace.
Yeah, that's the thing. He can charge through, kill the creep waves because it one-shots creep waves now if you're fast enough, and then he just walks away while still in biz.
That is exactly what I was saying about like the Nature's Prophet on the bot
He was
lane.
going for that Doom.
He just wanted to waste his Doom on a Linken's.
Oh, he stopped.
That's true. He does have a Linken's.
There's also an Aegis. There's a Linken's and an Aegis on top of it. There's quite a few layers that you need to peel back on
Only waited
that
like a
particular
quarter of a
onion.
second. Doom would be on cooldown, and he would still be able to blink.
I think that I'm fairly confident that was like a debate. Like he was.
Think so?
The TP was a little strange, but it was a Viper TP. He's got Boots of Travel,
Radiant's
so he
top
doesn't give a shit
tower
about TPing to a lane. They're like, oh, he wasted TP, whatever. It's like off cooldown now.
Yules for Doom. So a way to, it's such a good counter against SB anyways, because you not only interrupt charge, but you dispel his bulldoze. So disables afterwards are better, but he can also use it to break Linken's. It's a double whammy here. Really good purchase there.
Snapping up the rune over here. Does have his own Shadow Blade online. And the network is really evened out.
Is under attack.
Get the tree talent on Nature's Prophet? Why is there so many trees? He does on a core Natures. You don't see that very often. I mean, look at his items. It's all damage items. Usually you go for the attack speed.
He's picked up the shard. I mean, his team has really bad wave push though, actually. Doom, PA's okay.
Uh-oh. This is looking like 11. It's going to be able to move out in time, but over on the back end, nope. All right, step forward here, coming out for the PA. The BKB over on Toke. They've already taken down 11. Oh, Sunstrike and Live Flip together. They need to decide where they want to go. This is looking a little scary here now for Neferka. Does get himself a double kill. Spartan pulling Nefer still alive, which having to pump that BKB to run away to safety is. Katomi's going deep into the space. He wants this Nature's Prophet. Fortification now. The Silencer trap 2 over to the tree line. There we go. There's another kill here coming out. Debbie will fall. And they'll be able to go get a kill on SSA Spartan before getting a kill on Katomi.
Oh no.
Crystallis, though, he's fighting the Skelly. I mean, it's not the Skellies, it's the trees this time. The summons coming right back up again. He's going to get held into place. The break. Can they do anything else, though? I can't tell. It's just a very...
Stone cold. He's like, I'm out.
He had no emotion on his face. He knew he
The
was out.
lighting looks
That's
terrifying.
a little creepy.
It's like some
Okay.
Final Destination thing.
Yo, they got a really cool gamer place. I can't remember what it's called.
Boot camp?
Yeah, they're,
Play
it's like,
place. This
yeah.
is McDonald's, dude.
It's cool there. All right, that's one of the things you look for when you're joining a team. Okay, who's going to go Ags on Viper? I've literally played Ags Viper versus Wraith. It's you just ulti him constantly, and he's like, oh, 5 out of 10 seconds, I'm slowed by 80% through BKB. He just bought a BKB. You gotta counter the man.
That's so good.
You just hit him with the ulti.
Yeah. And then he respawns.
Oh, and against Razor as well, because Razor's all like, I pop BKB, I'm running in. Drop the ulti on that guy, disengage your support or whoever, he only gets like 30 damage. It's like SD, getting like SD gags against Razor, it's the same thing. It sucks to play if you have a way to slow them through
Dire's
BKB.
bottom
I
tower
believe
has
that
fallen.
players better than me would have words for this Viper build. That's
That's all you're gonna
That's
say.
it. Like
Okay.
I believe that he's a support now, and I think think that
think it's bad?
he didn't have to be. I do think it is. I think when you own the lane that hard, you should be carrying way harder at this point, and he should be like top of network.
Oh.
So you think the Spirit Vessel is bad?
Yeah, I literally got coached by Aoi, and the game looked exactly like this, where I utterly stomped the lane, and then I bought a vessel, and then I fell off literally exactly like this, because I was like trying to support my team. But the way that you support your team is by being top net worth and carrying. Yeah, but it's
How
the
do
thing
you
is,
do that as Viper though?
you know, Dragonlance, Assault Cuirass, like you can even get like a Scotty. You just go for like a right-click build. It's a weird thing to do as an offlaner because like a lot of the time, like you're rushing BKB first, right? You're just this like damage soak. You're a support. You're like a support with some items. But sometimes like when your game is going so well, you can actually transition to be a
God, look
carry.
at that dip.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Twins. Viper and Razor equally scum by some players. I like both.
They are
Or scum.
Are Ogre Magi twins?
They would be Siamese twins.
They
right?
would be.
Yeah, it's a form of twins.
So they
but
are
just more
twins.
rare. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Who's arguing this point against you?
It's just a question.
That fast cow.
Big ball.
Did a lot of damage to Ancients. 50% magic resistance.
Spirit Breaker is definitely one of the more edible heroes in the game.
I don't know. I said Spirit Breaker when you asked the question about which Dota hero is most edible, but he's got some weird mystic crap going on. I don't
Mystic
know.
stuff
Does
is
that make him less
Like,
delicious?
you know-
I feel like that would make him more delicious. Hold on, Cookie out, coming forward here. Trying to save Nephrit, but there's so much damage. BKBs come out, Crystala's jumping in. They pop their own BKBs. Spark's going to fall. Toby next. As they're trying to just desperately get behind their tower and try to reset this fight.
Look, I'm not memeing here, but the
Radiant's top
Grimstroke
tower
latch
is under
against
attack.
PA is such a good counter because he just can't jump around on who he wants to. He can't use Blink Strike. It goes through BKB if you get it on ahead of time. It's such a good counter. He basically has to use BKB just to run away every single fight, and then he's not going to feel comfortable going in.
Dire's middle tower is
That
under
makes the
attack.
Razor's job a lot easier. Like, there's no counter. I mean, you can double link now too on Razor. That one used to be bugged out where it didn't work.
Dire's middle tower
Oh, I
has
just
fallen.
watched the Spirit Breaker use ult on the Grimstroke, ulti, and it looked like it only went on the initial target, not the secondary target. So,
Possible.
yeah, I don't know if that was because it was like right after
Radiant's
the
top
ulti
tower
ended or
is
something
under
like that,
attack.
but
PA going Lincoln. Which I think against Grim is a great choice. Either Link
Razor
or...
as well. Spirit
Yeah.
Breaker, amazing actually, amazing choice.
Can't wait for the fit. Really excited about that. Like literally the one game that I bought Ags against like a bunch of melee because it felt so good.
There's that Yule spying Spartan a little bit more time. 11 following up. They get a kill on Fishman in another lane. So he's hitting real hard. Looking a little bit scary here as he gets another kill on Shlamanen. There's going to be those long-range kisses. Will be able to take down the Wraith King one time. Silence coming out here from Fishman. He wants this kill. He's going to Crystal if he wants it instead. And they'll find themselves a kill on Wish over in the mid lane. BRAME is just starting to crumble. They got a flyback now from the Doom. Nephrit needs to be so careful. They're stunning him into place. Looking very, very spooky as they are leashed up together. That's a dieback now. Leashing right onto another target, over onto Viper. It is a sad-looking three-legged race right now. And they take down Nephrit. They're gonna be able to grab themselves a Viper too, because they're going real hard for the Strike. He's gonna throw out a Sunstrike. Not even needed. They throw out the high five.
Wow.
Katomi will do.
That first charge, like that charge on PA set up everything. Charge into the Wraith King stun, into the Grimstroke ulti, then the guy dies, then he gets relatched by Viper who's too close to him. Oh, that must have felt awful.
It's one of those awkward
Feels real good if you're the Grimstroke player. They're like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a nice
look
fight.
at my spell doing things.
Dire's middle tower.
Grim is one of those heroes that gets to just live vicariously through others. It's like, yes, double your spells up. Yes, going with my bubble.
Dire's middle barracks are
Very
under
exciting.
But I also feel like Rubik's one of those heroes, but it just drives off the enemy, right? How do you get them off these buildings?
You
Dire's
gotta
middle
respawn
barracks
first.
fallen.
Helps.
Yes, thank you. Thank you,
And
Purge.
so tanky.
I believe losing, and then when you start the next game, you get another set of them to defend. An option.
And this is looking pretty rough right now. A 12k net worth lead currently at 32 minutes in. We go for a little cheeky smoke play, it seems. See if they can perhaps sweep and catch someone on their way out.
Bit of a last-ditch effort, Hail Mary, because
They've also got some wards up too, so they're probably going to try to sweep their jungle, try to gain a little bit of this back again.
Remember when Viper Doom stopped their lane?
Dire are scanning.
yeah, I do remember that. This is what Lacoste said BRAME's kind of like MO is that they do very well in the early game, and then they can't force out a game.
Looks like they'll be able to finish off Fishman at the very least, but game over on the back line. Twitch is going to fall to Crystallis. Coming and falling Stormer is looking like a dead Spartan.
Get ran at here. Or get sound good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Look at them just trying to hide in the trees. Oh, this feels very bad in your brain. Right back down from Twitch. This is still looking very bad. 11 will fall. Nefrit desperately hoping they're not going to be able to find him here in this tree line. He's trying to get over enough, but Katoya had the vision. That BKB not going to be enough to save him.
Under attack.
Wish has bought back. He's trying to just make some sort of plays around the map.
They just have so many run at you heroes, and when you get a net worth advantage on those heroes, and you dive at least a little successfully, it just feels awful on the BRAME side. Like, they need, like, some kind of, like, teamfight disruption, but look at their heroes. They actually had none. We were talking about their lackings of it, and then they picked PA. It's like, there's nothing left. There's no teamfight disruption on their squad.
They were banking hard on like winning the laning stage and then using that to snowball all of the tier 1s and then just constrict the map and just farm everything, get a PA that has like 6 items. That was how they're supposed to win. But if you've had team fights against a lineup like that, and game looks hard.
I mean, the execution was just so good against them as well. Like, the moment PA got BKB, I feel like every single fight, he's latched by Grimstroke and he's got BKB active, and it felt so bad. It happened so many fights in a row that I didn't even get a chance to like get a pick-off kill in exchange for his BKB charges. So therefore, he's not accelerating as fast as he could have.
Shoutouts to